What is going on, you guys? Today I have another episode for you where we're going to be reviewing a YouTube channel called Path of Knowledge, and the title is The Most Powerful Manifestation Technique by Bashar Darrell Anka. Let's get into it.
So what we are talking about working on here today with the concept of flipping the switch and using the concept of your shifting through parallel realities to get a better bead on the idea, a more precise understanding of the idea of manifesting the parallel reality you prefer, is to focus on the idea of creating a greater degree of difference than you normally do, so that you will be able to feel the shift, to see the shift, to perceive the shift more viscerally, more concretely. And the idea, thus then, is to allow yourself the opportunity to let go of the definitions that you have been brought up to believe are necessary for the labeling and defining and designing of the parallel realities that you do already automatically experience, so that you can design, in a sense, the parallel reality that is more in alignment with the parallel realities or sequence of parallel realities that you prefer, that are more representative of your true nature, your true core frequency, your true natural self, your true vibration. Here's what you can begin to do. Just have an overall image, an overall representation of your life as it is. In whatever way that comes to you. Just paint a picture, like you're looking at a movie screen if you wish. And just see up on that screen, see yourself. See an image of you going about the things that you are already doing in life. Nothing different than what you're already doing. It can be anything on a day-to-day basis. This and that, big or small, doesn't matter. Just see yourself as you are. Now, when you are ready, blank the screen, wipe the screen. Now, replace it with an image of yourself going about your day-to-day business in what you consider to be, for now, your preferred, desired, ideal reality, your ideal life.
Yeah, so that's basically like your vision or best life, right? So that's why it's important to write this down. But I like that he's talking about picturing it because it helps you make it feel more real. And other guys like Joe Dispenza, if you haven't checked him out already, definitely recommend watching some of his videos or reading his books. But he talks about like how your brain can't tell the difference between the reality, like this vision that you thought up. Like if you're feeling the emotions of what it feels like to be in that future situation, the best reality, it can't tell the difference between that and what's happening right now. So you start to essentially like convince your body that you're in that best ideal life. So you start being that person more consistently right now, and it comes to you faster, essentially.
Fill that movie screen with your image and look at all the things, create all the things in it that are representative of what the things are you would be going about doing in your ideal life, your ideal reality. Some of them may be the same. Some of them may be different. Whatever it is, just take a look at it. Now, in your mind's eye, put those two screens side by side or one above the other. Look at one screen that represents your life as it is. Look at the other image on the other screen that represents your life as you would prefer it to be. Notice the differences. Notice the differences. Notice the similarities, but notice the differences. Whatever differences you noticed, from small to large, are the things that represent vibrationally, symbolically, representationally, that ideal life. Whatever symbol you conjured up represents vibrationally that preferred parallel reality, because that is a real, already existing parallel reality, and that version of you in that reality already exists as a real person in that universe, in that reality, which is a completely different reality than the screen that represents your life as it is right now. Again, allow yourself to remember the differences, but understand that these two realities coexist right now, simultaneously, interpenetrated, overlapping, only separated by the slightest difference in vibrational energy. Now, it may be a slight difference, but if the picture looks very different, then it is a difference that is enough of a difference in vibration that you are noticing the difference. And that's the key. Different enough that you notice the difference. Different enough so that it's not in your mind, as you are used to experiencing, a smooth continuity from one second to the next, but would be representative of some time passing in between. In other words, some of you might see the image of the life as it is now, see the image of the life that you prefer, and you might automatically find yourself assuming that it would require some span of time in order for one to change to the other. The thing to understand is that it actually, in a sense, requires less time than you think, and in fact actually uses no time at all. When you decide, when you choose to actually be that person in that reality, it will happen instantaneously as a shift from whatever parallel reality you were experiencing a moment before that. But you can create the illusion of process, the illusion of time lag, the illusion of linear continuity to make it seem as if it's taking time to become or experience that reality. But that reality exists right now. So manifestation in this context is simply the degree to which you are willing to allow the definition, no matter how different it looks, to actually be real right now. To know that it exists right now, and most importantly, in this particular permission slip, to be willing to actually be that person in that representation right now. When you,
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, that's why it's so important, because you could convince yourself, like, oh, it's going to take a long time, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that person yet. When will it happen? How long is it going to take? Blah, 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 right? But you could literally start embodying some of the traits of that person right now. So, like, effectively, you're drawing that situation to you faster, right? Just acting out those traits. What is that ideal version of yourself, that ideal future? What does that person do, right? I mean, that's basically what he's saying here. If you can be like a magnet to your best future or ideal situation.
go back now and look at the two images you created. And if you see differences in them, one of the differences you will probably see is a difference in how you behave in the two realities. Many people on your planet, when they imagine themselves going through their day-to-day existence as it is now, and then imagine themselves going through their day-to-day existence in the reality they prefer, will suddenly realize there is a great degree of difference in your behavior, in your body language, in what you're wearing, in your attitude, in your energy. Look at the difference in you in those two images. It is important to understand the following. This principle is paramount here. You cannot experience what you are not already the vibration of. So the idea is, if you see that version of you in that preferred ideal reality doing certain things, the you are now is not capable of experiencing those things unless you actually start being the person in that image. If you don't behave like that person, dress like that person, talk like that person, walk like that person, think like that person, feel like that person, you will not experience the things that person is experiencing, because that is not just a different version of you. It is a different person, literally, entirely. And
I watched a good video the other day by a YouTuber named How To Beast, and he was talking about getting into a situation where you respect yourself the most, right? Like looking back on past versions of yourself now, and almost looking at it like you're outside of your body, like above or behind you, like you're looking at a video game character walking around, right? And you can see like how you present yourself, your body language, like your posture, how you're walking around in the world, like and immediately just like making a split second judgment. Like if you saw yourself walking around, how much respect would you have for yourself right away, right? Like that first impression, just seeing you walk around in the world. And that was like a really interesting concept, because of course there's like deeper levels to it, but that actually shows like, even I was thinking about it, like, sometimes for myself, like, I'm walking around too fast, like looking a little bit more anxious, right? Or maybe not like keeping my head up enough, like posture wise, right? So like, it's like these really small little things that you can actually do micro adjustments on and present yourself like in your energy in a much more powerful and positive way too. So I like that he's saying this, because it's partially like you can just enact the things that the future self would do now, that best self now. And I also like that he mentioned earlier that he wanted you to write down, or like the vision of your current ideal reality, right? So it means that it can evolve. Of course, like maybe you don't have the full vision yet, but you can write it out and envision it to the extent that you're able to now, right? The best version. And you can reiterate on that process as you go, because you know, of course, we keep growing, we keep moving forward, and you start to have new ideas of the things that you really want in life. Like you sort of have these redirections towards the most fulfilling version of your life, and you think, and sometimes you find out like, oh, this isn't something that I actually wanted, it was this. So you get sort of redirected or course corrected towards that true best self.
You, the greater you, as a consciousness, can shift between the person you're experiencing yourself to be now and the person that is represented in that ideal scenario. That you, the bigger you, the consciousness that you are, will be the same, but the person, the physical construct, the temporary personality that you consider yourself to be as a physical being will literally not be the same person, because you are not the same person from moment to moment to moment to moment. As we already said, billions and billions of times a second, you're actually becoming literally, quite literally, not metaphorically, quite literally, a new person billions of times a second. The idea again here is to pay attention consciously to the fact that you can design the person, design the reality to be different enough so that you can actually tell the difference, that it is really a different reality, a different you, a different universe. And that's what this exercise is designed to do, is look at the differences so that you can know that when you shift, you're shifting totally, utterly, totally, and instantaneously. There is no real time lag at all between becoming one reality and another, between experiencing yourself as one person and another. None whatsoever. But you can create this continuity, this illusion that there is, or you can start to let that go. Now, it will not let go entirely, of course, as long as you still have a reason to experience the physical reality idea at all. We're not talking about eliminating it completely, although from time to time, as you do these kinds of exercises, as you gain this kind of insight and this kind of knowledge, you may find space and time becoming a little more slippery. You may find things happening very rapidly, maybe sometimes even instantaneously here and there. This will be somewhat sporadic, but it can accelerate. Nevertheless, you will still retain some sense of space-time in order to have a context in which to experience the idea you call physical reality, but you can allow your experience of it to become something far more different than what you're experiencing now, accelerate it far more rapidly than what you're experiencing now. Again, not literally accelerating it. When I say accelerate it, I mean experience as if you were accelerating, because you're already shifting as fast as you can. You're already shifting totally. So you can't shift more than you do. You can't shift faster than you do. What you can change is your perception, your experience of the idea, so that you can become aware of the fact that you are shifting totally, shifting instantaneously. That's the whole idea to this exercise, to become aware of the fact that you're already shifting totally, already shifting instantaneously, and you can't go any faster. The way, as we said, to recognize that is to create a parallel reality that is different enough that you notice that you're shifting immediately and totally. So the idea is, as you see that image and you see that version of you there, start from this moment forward, from this day forward, start being, start behaving, start mimicking that version of you. Because that's what your imagination, that's what your visualization is for, is to create the state. Because if you really, really are having an image in your mind that's representative of your ideal reality, not only will the you, the version of you in that picture, look excited, you'll start to feel excited about that reality. You'll feel that energy now. It will start to leak into you from that image. That's what it's for. That's its job, to put you in the proper state that is representative of the ideal reality, no matter how that reality actually will appear physically.
Yeah, no, that's a really good video, and I definitely recommend checking out more of Bashar's stuff, as well as like Joe Dispenza. He changes, like Joe Dispenza will help you, you know, because I was like the guy before that was very skeptical, like, oh, manifestation, it's woo-woo, et cetera, right? So, you know, it was hard to convince me of this kind of stuff. But Joe Dispenza talks a lot about how it's very like physics related, psychology related. You know, it's like ingrained in us, and you know, he goes about it in like a quantum physics context. So it actually puts it all into perspective for you in how we have actual like energy and vibration, like a field essentially around our body. I mean, and you can, a funny way of displaying this is there's videos you can look up of like water, right? So like water with different sound waves hitting it, and it changes the shape of the water, right? Or just like, and what you could basically start to think about is this happens to you in real life, like because you're made up of mostly water. So like all your emotions, like different sound waves, things like that, they're affecting your emotions and your current state. So I like that he's saying this stuff because you can affect your current state, feel what it feels like to be that best self. And I'll give you a cherry on top of this video. Because once you do that, then of course you get excited about your best self being that future self now, or faster, right? Or perceived in a faster way, like he says. You can also say, like, feel those good feelings and also feel grateful for it. Like, think like, I'm so grateful that I'm already accomplishing this, or this has already happened for me, right? Whatever those things from your vision are. And that's super powerful because then it puts you in a way higher positive state as you're moving through your day. And you're going to notice what he was talking about, these little like serendipities or synchronicities, creating a situation where some of these little scenarios happen. Like it seems like random or like faster, and you're essentially drawing these scenarios for your best self to you now, faster. So anyways, guys, if this video resonates with you in any way, send it to someone that you think may benefit from the message. Thank you for watching. And I recently started opening up some private consultations. If you guys are interested in self-development, fitness, dating, any of this other stuff that, kind of catches your eye here, feel free to book a consultation down below in the description. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.